Hey, okay. Nature with a capital N. So, first of all, what is nature with a small n? I would say that's like, outside your house, the wild animals and the trees and the grass and stuff. That's like nature with a small n. Nature with a capital N is like creation, right? Not only what's outside in your backyard and not only what's on earth, but the whole, universe and everything, right? The physical manifestation of the universe, right? You could call that nature with a capital N. And Taoism does a really good job of describing it. This book is really cool. 365 Tao. Taoism is really cool. I've had this book for many years, probably almost 30 years now. But and by the way, I read little excerpts from that book after our meditation sessions. I'm going to put this up on the screen now. We do 2 meditation live streams each week. The details will be in the description. So you want to join us for meditation, you can. Yeah, so I want to play. Okay, so human beings are natural, right? We have grown out of nature with a capital N, right? So one thing to keep in mind as we watch this little video clip I'm going to play in a second is how feeling like you're part of the oneness of the universe, of nature with a capital N. Oops. Sorry about that. And, and not losing track of that, not losing consciousness of that, because when we lose consciousness of the fact that we are part of nature, then we go into our own minds, into our ego, and we start doing all kinds of crazy stuff and, doing weird things and doing unnatural things, let's say. Anyway, this is a deep subject. Obviously, this is just a short video going over a couple things. So let's just listen to Alan Watts for like a minute. This is a pretty cool video. Again, I'll link to this video in the description. So
then, here is a conception of nature as something you must trust. Outside nature, the birds, the bees, the flowers, the mountains, the clouds, and inside nature, human nature. Now, nature isn't trustworthy completely. It'll sometimes let you down.
Okay, and obviously we all know this, right? Like the world or nature with a capital N, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't always go our way, and it's not always fair, right? Like sometimes bad things happen to good people, and he just said, it will sometimes let you down. But let's continue.
With a wallop. But that's the risk you take. That's the risk of life.
Right? That's the risk of life. So life is risky, right? We inherently living in nature with a capital N is risky. And so, well, let's just continue.
What's the alternative? I do not trust nature at all. It's got to be watched. Do you know what that leads to? It leads to 1984 and Big Brother. It leads to the totalitarian state where everybody is his brother's policeman, and where everybody is watching everybody else to report them to the authorities, where you can't trust your own motivation.
Right? So I like the way he contrasts that nature, trusting nature versus not trusting nature. And of course, not trusting nature leads to things like what he just said, totalitarianism, and people, living in this like small bubble of an idea that you have to, do things a certain way. And basically it's all ego, and it becomes all like head trash and brainwashing. And that ego, the enhanced ego and the brainwashing, separates us from nature. And so then we're sort of at odds with nature with a capital N. And so this is why meditation is great. This is why even studying, wise people, gurus, ancient texts, it's all good because we can learn from all that, and it helps us reflect on our lives and nature with a capital N, and also our ego and what's the balance, right? And there's danger either way, but nature's been around for a lot longer than you and I have, and I'm sure it'll keep going. So those are just some little thoughts on nature with a capital N. What do you think? Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And like I mentioned, we have 2 meditation live streams each week. Definitely information is in the description below. And of course, there's Podcast Engineering School. That's my school where I teach people to earn a great living from home producing podcasts for others. So, all right, well, that's it for this video. Thank you. We'll see you soon. Until then, be well. And yeah, that didn't come out right, but you understand. See ya.